September 2016, nabigyan ng pagkakataon ang ating kababayan na si Jerwin the Pretty Boy Ancajas na mapalaban sa isang world title fight para sa titulong IBF World Super Flyweight kontra sa Puerto Rican undefeated boxer na si Arroyo, isang southpaw fighter na lumalaban sa Super Flyweight Division. Bago ang kanilang laban, ni Jerwin Ancajas ay may malinis itong record na 17 wins with 8 knockout at walang talo. Tinalo niya ang isang Pinoy undefeated prospect na si Arthur Villanueva noong July 2015 via technical decision sa round 10 at nakuha sa Pinoy ang bakanting titulong IBF World Super Flyweight. Ito ang unang pagdepensa ni Arroyo sa kanyang hawak na titulo at ito naman ang una niyang pagkakataon na mapapalaban ng kampiyon sa bansang Pilipinas. Samantalang ang ating pambato naman na future highly prospect na si Jerwin Ancajas na tubong Panabo City, Davao del Norte ay may record noon na 24 wins with 16 knockout, may isang talo at isang tabla. Napakalaking laban ito para kay Jerwin Ancajas dahil ito ang kanyang unang laban sa world title. Matapos ang 11 straight win ay nabigyan ng pagkakataon ng ating kababayan upang patunayan sa mundo na pang world title ang mga Pinoy boxer. Bago nga ang kanilang laban ay sinabi ng kampiyon na hindi magiging advantage ni Jerwin Ancajas ang kanyang hometown. Sapat daw ang kanyang paghahanda upang depensahan ang kanyang titulo. Mentally prepare umano ang kampiyon para sa kanilang laban. Samantalang ang ating pambato naman ay kumpiyansa na matatalo ang kasalukuyang kampiyon at makuha ang unang world title fight.
The championship? Opo. Mataas naman po yung kumpiyansa ko dahil po sa mataas na din po yung pagte-training namin. Yung gustong-gusto ko pong manalo bukas.
You're fighting in your opponent's hometown. Is that different for you, or do you feel like it doesn't matter as long as it's a boxing ring?
Things that we have to deal with, and we had to come here to Philippines, and we just mentally prepared for it. I always come prepared, and I came here to defend my title, and hopefully I'll be the winner of this fight.
Kung titignan ang kanilang record at experience, medyo nakakalamang na konti itong si Arroyo dahil sa mga kinalaban nito at hindi pa ito nakakatikim ng pagkatalo. At ang nag-iisang talo ni Jerwin Ancajas na galing sa isang Pinoy na si Mark Anthony Giraldo ay siya ring tinalo ni Arroyo. Ginanap ang kanilang laban sa Jurado Hall of the Philippine Marine Corporation, Barangay Port Bonifacio, Taguig City. Dito ay malalaman kung sino ang mananaig sa dalawang boxer at ito na ba ang magbibigay daan sa isang Pinoy upang makakuha muli ng isang world title belt.
A little right hook there. Body shot by Arroyo on a right hook over the top. Looks like both fighters are eager to, at last, finally get it on. Arroyo comes out looking to put a little bit more heat on Ancajas, and he lands a cuffing overhand left over. But this is a 12-round fight. There's still a lot of boxing left to go. With some counterpunching. Because even if you are being aggressive, you can still counter. Interestingly, Ancajas was not known as a puncher as he was coming up. Since then, Ancajas has knocked out everyone he's faced, although admittedly these were soft opposition. And that all changed after the Giraldo fight, where it's very rare that you'll see at this level two southpaw fighters. Some actually say that they prefer fighting a southpaw because everything's for February of this year in Puerto Rico. But when the main event between Roman seems to be lined up, it's like looking in a mirror. The angles are good for their shots. They're not stepping on each other's feet to close the gap here. Deviled the champion so far. Of course, we're still early in the fight. But Arroyo, Ancajas now employing some feints in addition to his right jab, which has beat. I spoke to Ancajas about that, and he said he's dedicating this fight to the people devastating so far, as it completely interrupted everything Arroyo is trying to do. Arroyo is with a purpose tonight. And Arroyo just doesn't seem to have any answers yet. He's still not sure how to deal with that performance, which was a knockout of former flyweight champion, and Ancajas just lands a nice little right hook to the body inside. but Arroyo seemed to get the better of that exchange right there. Snuck in a little uppercut. If you're wondering how much Arroyo may have been even coming in with his head there. If you're wondering about, but for all the experience that Arroyo has, just 4 fights ago he was fighting at the 8-round level, although he had fought a couple of 10-rounders. Ancajas' experience at the 12-round level, he's never gone 12 rounds. He's gone 10 a few times. So he's been around, and also he fought in the United States, in Florida. But this is exactly where Arroyo would want the fight, in close, as he lands a couple of counter punches inside. And they open up the round by trading jabs. He hangs here, as both gone for Arroyo, Puerto Rico. And he was sparring as a 75-pounder as Molina was getting ready to fight today, Mick Joe Arroyo. Nice jab and a left hand after a beat. Good chip. So it's unlikely that anything is, or anyone will intimidate. Ancajas lands a straight left counter. 2008 Palarong Pambansa gold medalist. He won 2 golds in the nationals here in the Philippines. Ancajas has his own amateur accolades. He was a 2003, has called this fight pretty well so far. And interestingly, hold the biscuit, and then a left hand over the top by Ancajas, and another left hand just misses with a left hand to the body. Ancajas has found a little bit of a rhythm here, getting in and out. He's pressuring Arroyo to the ropes now. Lands a couple of body shots, and Arroyo is taking a second to kind of look at what's in front of him. Of course, over the years, we've seen so many great encounters between Filipino and Puerto Rican boxers. As Ancajas ramps up the aggression, Arroyo looks to be trying to sneak him with one of the Flash Elorde versus Carlos Ortiz, Manny Pacquiao versus Miguel Cotto, and a big left. That was a hard left hand by Ancajas, and Ancajas is looking to follow. Left hand staggers Arroyo. Arroyo goes down. Up. Arroyo still doesn't seem to be 100%, although he's firing back. And another left hand by Ancajas. But Ancajas has made his statements as he lands 2 more left hands over the top. Arroyo is in big trouble here in round 6. It's important for Ancajas not to open up too much. But this has been a huge round for Jerwin Ancajas. And a right hook by Ancajas. Arroyo is now fighting back. An angle where he thought he would be out of range for that shot. He wasn't. And Ancajas is in total control. And he paid the price there in round number 6. Although he seems to have his bearings now, as he barely misses a straight left hand that caught the gloves of Arroyo. He looks like his punches aren't as straight as they might have been. And there was a counter left hand by Ancajas and a 3-punch combination by Ancajas. This is the fight, or should be. And Ancajas has just found money with that right jab. This comes from a unusual angle. Of course, Arroyo with a right. The issue of boxing is that you could have 10 people watching the same fight, and they see 10 different things. Where they see Arroyo had made a statement that he's at least not yet ready to go. And Arroyo may have been hurt by a body shot at the end of the 7th. That Villanueva may have really deserved the decision in their hand over the top. Comes in with a combination. Ancajas shoe shines. 10-round technical decision fight in July of 2015. Oh, it's a nice left hand to the body, and out of the ring! Down goes Arroyo! Down goes Arroyo! That is a 10-8 turn Arroyo, and another one landed. And end of the 8th round! That is a chant of body shot. Even the people in the crowd can tell that Arroyo has been compromised to the body. A little flurry, no power from Arroyo. That kind of visual that may stick with the judges. Ten seconds to go. And that's that. End of the 12th round. And we await the scorecards from the...
Matapos ang 16 na sunod na pagkakapanalo, ay nabigyan ng pagkakataon na mapalaban sa isang world title fight noong February 1997 ang ating kababayan na si Jerry Fearless Peñalosa kontra sa Japanese boxer na si Hiroshi Kawashima. Bagamat nakakalamang sa dami ng laban, si Peñalosa ay hindi ito naging advantage ng ating kababayan sa laban sa Japanese boxer. Ito ang unang sabak ni Peñalosa sa isang world title fight, samantalang si Kawashima naman ito ang ika-6 na beses na didepensa niya ang kanyang world title belt mula nang makuha ito sa Meksikanong si Jose Luis Bueno. Dala ang magandang record ng ating kababayan. Lakas loob na hinarap ang mahusay na Japanese boxer. Buo ang loob ni Peñalosa na magagapi niya ang kalaban. Naganap ang laban sa Kokogigan, Tokyo, Japan. Ito ang unang laban ni Peñalosa sa labas ng bansa at unang laban sa world title. Bagamat dayo ang ating kababayan at unang laban sa world title sa bansang Japan, hindi mo ito makikitaan ng pagkabahala sa laban. Unang round pa lang, ipinakita ni Peñalosa kung gaano siya kateknikal lumaban. Magagandang kombinasyon kagad ang mga pinakakawalan.
Mucho más oportunidad de que él pueda entrar y salir como aquí lo intenta hacer. Ya soltó al menos el cuerpo. Derecha, sí, va a ser incómodo Peñalosa en lo que...
Sí, que sabemos que los filipinos son grandes boxeadores, ¿eh?
Sí.
Ha habido cada uno, ¿te acuerdas? Bueno, ahora mismo ese chico Mayol sacó...
Sorpresa. Buena izquierda, metida en un gancho corto y ya se decide atacar. Ahora sí. Cambia demasiado Peñalosa, no. Terminó con barrera y bueno, con Morales también le dio una dosis muy parecida. Y Kawashima aquí se lleva la...
Jerry Peñalosa. Va al frente con la mano derecha Peñalosa, falla también con la derecha por ahí. Interesante, es una combinación de poder y velocidad en el round inicial. Por lo pronto una actitud bastante... La Camón Referee no está en pantalla, bueno, ahora da la vuelta. Pero generalmente no aparece en la pantalla de televisión porque sabe trabajar muy bien para ello. Un referee hecho en el especular. El que especula termina en el trabajo del referee Richard Steele, lo que es la experiencia. Nunca aparece en pantalla. Richard Steele, que va a tener Richard Steele cerca de 50 años.
Yo creo cerca de los 50 años, pero le da para seguir
Peñalosa. Únicamente Kawashima ahora no tampoco responde. Ahora bien, la izquierda de Peñalosa cuando entraba Kawashima en la pelea va a chocar prácticamente contra las sogas.
En la cuenta de los jueces.
Izquierda otra vez de Jerry Peñalosa. Ya Kawashima un jab con la mano derecha que sacude la cabeza de Hiroshi Kawashima. La izquierda otra vez y retrocede el japonés por segunda ocasión. Segundos finales del round 2. Al cuerpo conecta Kawashima, con la derecha lo esperaba Peñalosa. Ahora un buen volado con la mano derecha. Va a la lona, Kawashima no cuenta, dice.
Y otra vez está retrocediendo en su boxeo, caminando hacia atrás y Peñalosa soltando con velocidad. Gancho Yopper y ahora buen trabajo con dos rectas, izquierda y derecha.
Pelea esta noche en Tokio.
Y cambió la combinación ahora Kawashima, con la derecha atacando abajo y de inmediato arriba, con un buen upper. Sercha, así trabaja Kawashima.
No se equivocaban los expertos cuando decían que iba a ser un duelo de poder a poder. Los estilos se pueden acoplar Estamos viendo una gran...
En la táctica sigue haciendo lo mismo, encerrándolo, yendo hacia adelante, pasitos cortos, basados en un buen boxeo. Otra vez era Peñalosa, ahí va a tratar de contraatacar Kawashima. Y otra vez vean cómo se vuelven a prender. Lanza bien la izquierda, mejor la derecha. El jab ahora es el que puede marcar la diferencia. Un Kawashima que tanto él como en su esquina saben que están con buen destino por parte del de naranja. El filipino Jerry Peñalosa. Otra vez lo vuelve a lanzar.
Mira, lo que pasa es que son chicos los boxeadores que pelean en Japón. Generalmente son pesos pequeños. Y el ring se ve mucho más grande, ¿no?
Y en suma, David, de la superficie blanca,
Claro.
la mayor viene de la derecha, bien educada. Dicen que es el golpe que abre las peleas, el básico para el boxeo, que no le menciona.
Mayor amplitud, claro. Que estamos acostumbrados a la superficie de Las Vegas, que es azul.
Azul, sí.
Colores...
Alguna vez roja en una pelea de Chávez, yo me acuerdo. Los japoneses como filipinos para el boxeo. Primero hacen el famoso Thai boxing. Este ha soltado también buenos golpes. El jab retrocediendo por parte de Kawashima. Incurre el abrazo y ahora sí, la intervención de Richard Steele para terminar el tercero.
Pero también sabe que la pelea es larga y que no hay que enseñar todas las cartas a partir de los primeros episodios. Buen ataque de...
Y Kawashima, David, si algo ya encontró en Peñalosa es que sabe que su postura más débil es cuando él ataca, ¿eh? Y empieza. Sí.
Solo cuando las condiciones físicas del boxeador se merman. Falla con la mano derecha Kawashima. Entra por fuera con un volado Peñalosa. Pero no pasa nada.
El cuerpo entero y nada más gira la cara. Buena
Parece que el
defensa,
golpe es el que le cambia.
Claro.
Buen boxeador, bien Kawashima ahora por golpe seguido. Atacan con mucha precaución los dos. Kawashima pegando abajo. Peñalosa ahora estira los brazos y dice: no me hiciste nada. Cumple con su boxeo esta noche. Otra vez la izquierda. Es que el movimiento que tiene para quitarse el golpe Kawashima es extraño, ¿no? Voltea la cara, ¿no?
Es el famoso bending. Algunos lo hacen de...
Buen jab de Peñalosa. Ataca abajo. Me parece que la instrucción para Kawashima es pega abajo. Velo mermando físicamente abajo. Después con un volado de mano derecha. La pelea sube y sube de intensidad. Cambian golpes y van creciendo en forma, en dimensión, para contrarrestar la velocidad del boxeador filipino. También se ha llevado sus buenos golpes Jerry Peñalosa. Y aquí en Tokio con la exhibición de los dos boxeadores. Conecta abajo Kawashima, después arriba con la mano derecha. Y este es el campeón. Vean cómo intenta todos los ganchos abajo Kawashima. Bien, se quita los golpes Kawashima, enseñando un nuevo movimiento a la gente feliz.
Ya se contrarrestaron. Si Peñalosa tenía un buen gancho en corto de izquierda, ya con un trabajo de gancho corto al estómago y un upper seguidito con la misma mano. Combinaciones. El boxear verdaderamente eso puede dar dividendos y lo sabe.
Está equilibrando todo aquí en Tokio. Otra vez pega ahí un gancho, intentando mermar físicamente al Phil.
También más para atrás, pero es el que quiere mover a Jerry Peñalosa. Sabe que bien parado Peñalosa es muy peligroso. Y vean nada más, qué buena.
En su esquina pega abajo y luego arriba, y lo ha seguido al pie de la letra, y además de manera fantástica. Tanto
Combinación otra vez abajo. Intentaba arriba un golpe falso y después atacando abajo perfecto.
la disciplina de los boxeadores japoneses es imponente, ¿no?
Mira, ataca abajo y Peñalosa sabe que abajo no ha tenido defensa y otra vez pintaba para abajo.
Que había un contacto con la cabeza, no lo hubo. A veces igual lo hubo, pero no abrió nada por fortuna, pero está bien, ha sido una pelea limpia hasta ahora.
Vuelve a marcar bien Fallar. Disparos al aire por parte de Jerry Peñalosa en 2 ocasiones. Trabaja bien ahora en el terreno corto, que es lo suyo, con la estatura que tiene. Buen trabajo ahora de buena combinación ahora de Kawashima. Antes caminaba hacia atrás defendiéndose. Ahora camina hacia atrás invitando a que se mueva Peñalosa, que vuelve a hacer y mejoró una perfecta derecha en jab, dura, plena, bien puesta en el rostro de Kawashima.
Sí, la verdad es que ahora mismo nadie sabe.
No, caray. En el tercer y cuarto emparejó Kawashima y este se lo pudiera estar llevando él. El japonés empieza a hacer su boxeo. Bien cómo lo levanta. Perfecto trabajo.
¿Quién va ganando la pelea? Está muy, pero muy pareja. Nos espera una segunda parte de combate muy interesante.
Sí, Peñalosa había empezado bien en el primero y segundo. El upper entró bien con la derecha. Ataque completamente abierto de ambos boxeadores. Richard Steele entra perfecto para separarlos. Calientito, termina el quinto.
Calzoncillo anaranjado. Espera ahora Kawashima, una combinación derecha-izquierda. Kawashima que aprovechó para meterle un jab por ahí con la mano derecha. Ahora lo espera con la izquierda en el upper. que no alcanzó a entrar totalmente. Si hubiera entrado totalmente, que su inicio, pero cuidado con los filipinos, que en cualquier momento vuelven por más.
Sí, son unos guerreros, bien curtidos. Y los filipinos les fue muy bien.
Kawashima todavía en la lona. Así que ahora se ha convertido en un combate de estrategias, de inteligencias. Bueno, ahora es un combate de estrategias. Vamos a ver quién saca la mejor parte ya entrando al lo que es la segunda mitad de este combate. La izquierda de Peñalosa. Kawashima ataca con combinaciones también.
Ofreciendo entrar y salir, y ese es un gasto doble. Más parado el caso de Jerry Peñalosa. Vean cómo entra y sale con buena combinación abajo, David.
Sí. Ahora responde Kawashima con poder y entra con combinaciones derecha-izquierda. Lo lleva contra las sogas. Parece un momento complicado para Peñalosa. Las cuestiones físicas más adelante, que se vaya deteriorando el boxeo del filipino Jerry Peñalosa. Se está acabando el sexto episodio. Una finta, la derecha de Peñalosa, otra derecha, el jab. Y la campana va a aparecer en cualquier momento. Se acabó. Se metió Steel, se metió la campana.
Primer minuto, el entrar y salir como lo había hecho. Para tratar de mover a Peñalosa, que se vuelve ya. Parece que tiene mayor movilidad que Kawashima, David, y eso le puede dar dividendos.
Sí, obviamente Kawashima ha mostrado buenas condiciones abajo y arriba, ¿no?
Sí, definitivamente. Eso termina por resentirlo Peñalosa. Y lo sabe, le pueden bajar la guardia así. Otra vez, buena combinación, 3 golpes, el 1, 2, 3.
Octavo episodio. Combinación ahí. Pega al cuerpo Richard Steel. Los finales de round han sido muy emocionantes. Steel no quiere que se pierda nada. Ahí lo tenemos otra vez. Izquierda. Se está acabando el round número 8. 1-2 rapidísimo del japonés. La mano izquierda. También aterriza bien sobre. Sacude la cara de Kawashima, que se estrella contra las olas. La pelea cerca del final, Carlos.
Sí, cerca del final. Y mira que Richard Steel está.
Pelea. Puede ir por ella. Kawashima está mal físicamente. Y es el momento para buscarlo. Peñalosa lo sabe. Empuja con combinaciones derecha e izquierda.
Demasiado cerca, pero no ha dejado de soltar golpes Kawashima. Está batido ya.
Larguísimo round para Kawashima. Parece media hora, no 3 minutos. Va a ir vivo. Lo dejó ir vivo Peñalosa. Y parece que Kawashima va a llegar a su esquina con vida por lo menos para el 11º episodio. Antes de Peñalosa, que tenía de ventaja aparente. Así que no hay nada extraño. Kawashima es el hombre que estaba en peligro en este round. Y fue en uno de los... Aquí están los de la NHK. Saludos para ellos.
Aquí por lo pronto, Jerry le vuelve a mandar, tratar de tomar un poco más de ritmo. Vean cómo quiere meter ahora en que estorbe a los boxeadores. Es un recurso que tienen los referees. Lo ocupó, bueno, pues seguramente le aplaudieron los vacados. Ha estado más cerca a Jerry Peñalosa. 24 knockouts en 35 peleas ganadas. Y aquí otra vez izquierda. El 1-2 clásico. Y ahora tarda un poco el ataque de Jerry Peñalosa. Ha tirado únicamente a la cabeza. Pocas veces al cuerpo con algunos golpes falsos únicamente para abrir la guardia.
Tiene que buscar Kawashima en lo que resta del combate. Es un knockout porque va a perder la decisión. ¡Uy!
¡Ey! Aquí aparece un buen golpe por parte de Hiroshi Kawashima.
A través de boxeo azteca de Azteca América. Va al frente. Peñalosa, Kawashima tira sus golpes como puede. Trata de dejar sogas. Peñalosa termina tirando golpes. Kawashima se defiende. Se acabó la pelea. Levanta los brazos en la esquina del filipino.
Nanalo si Jerry Peñalosa sa isang dikit na split decision. Matapos ang laban ay nadiskubre ng mga doktor na nagkapinsala pala ang mata ng Japanese boxer sa laban niya kay Jerry Peñalosa, kaya naman napilitan na ito magretiro sa batang edad. Samantalang ang ating kababayan naman na si Jerry Peñalosa, matapos mapasakamay ang WBC World Super Flyweight title, ay matagumpay niya itong nadepensahan ng 4 na beses. Subalit noong 1998 ay naagaw naman ito sa kanya ng undefeated South Korean boxer na si In Joo. Dahil sa 24 na sunod na pagkakapanalo at naging undefeated mula noong sumabak sa professional boxing, lakas loob na hinarap ng Mexican undefeated prospect na si Raul alias The Cobra Martinez, ang Noy IBF at IBO World Flyweight Champion na si Nonito The Filipino Plus Donaire. February 2008, naging IBO International Super Flyweight Champion si Martinez nang talunin niya si Benjamin Garcia via unanimous decision, at 5 buwan lang ang makalipas, naging IBA World Super Flyweight Champion nang talunin naman niya si Isidro Garcia. Pero imbis na makiat ng timbang sa bantamweight division, mas pinili nitong bumaba sa flyweight division at sinagupa ang ating kababayan na si Donaire na para bang may gusto itong patunayan. April 2009, naganap na ang laban ni Raul Martinez at Nonito Donaire. May record noon si Martinez na 24 wins with 14 knockout at walang talo. Si Donaire naman ay may kartadang 20 wins with 13 knockout at merong isang talo. Ginanap ang laban sa Araneta Coliseum, Cubao, Quezon City. Napakahalagang laban ito para sa ating kababayan dahil ito ang unang laban niya sa world title na ginanap sa sarili niyang bayan.
Victory over Victor Proa, who was an undefeated fighter, but you know, Nonito Donaire is one of the upper echelon, along with the Darchinas.
About is that when he came to the Philippines in the first couple of days, he was dropping so much weight. He was concerned because he was scheduled for 12. And Donaire is, well, both these guys extremely engaging.
Yeah, he was very concerned about it.
With the right hand, and the crowd reaction. Martinez is going backwards. Donaire's trying to take care of business that alone.
And always
the left hook on the chin, and down goes Martinez. He's shaking it off. Did we mention the left hook? Of bewilderment on the face of Martinez. Back the left hand again is Donaire.
Done for Martinez because he'll put himself in the harm's way.
Got hit again.
If you press Donaire, that counter left hook will really
suck it up and find a way to survive.
And those wild punches are not going to get it really hurt you, and that was the punch that hit into Archinia.
Down goes Martinez for a second time. It becomes evident. And you can bet they're listening for the bell over here in Martinez corner.
Especially with the left hand, well documented. Kind of a half uppercut hook. Just a great punch.
The next great champion from these islands. And he had 2 knockdowns. Obviously, Tim's power you were mentioning. And even Martinez talking about it. It's so obvious.
You know, Nonito Donaire has had a couple of wins since the win over Darchini. The last one.
7 round the first round. So we'll see if Martinez can react with the power.
He had some moments where he wanted to fight handily. He wanted a TKO in the 6th round. There were just moments where he didn't look. He looked a bit slow. The power of Donaire is the equalizer. He can hurt anybody at these weight classes.
He's trying to finish it early, Al. As again the left hand. Martinez gets hit with it.
But the problem is
the left hand again.
There's the power of Donaire. And that's my point.
The right. Martinez is just staggered. He's in big trouble. He's trying to stay away. Donaire wanting to put on a show on a Sunday.
As Donaire was landing that left hook, Martinez actually landed a nice counter right hand, but the Donaire's punch was so much more powerful. Donaire's taking a
warning here in the Philippines. The left hand, down goes Martinez again.
A lot of risks and chances the way he's attacking Martinez, but Martinez has not been able to land that one big punch to push Donaire off it. It's working because he's knocked Martinez down 3 times.
No fear whatsoever is what that's called. The body goes Donaire. Martinez surviving so far.
Nice right hand by Martinez. Nonito Donaire is just throwing caution to the wind. And of course, you see it, Martinez found an overhand right, and he has landed it against Donaire because Donaire is throwing all caution to the wind. This is not...
Lightly lands it. It just gets him completely off kilter. Now he's trying to come back with a jab and show a little speed. Good right hand, though. There's the left hand again. It's so powerful, Al. It just staggers him every time he even slides.
Donaire's technique has suffered a little bit because he wants to take Martinez out. And so Donaire has to beware of that overhand right from Martinez as one technique that normally Donaire would use.
Another hard punch at the end of round 2. Martinez
decided as this fight is. Look at right there. Donaire squared himself up just to throw that right hand. That's not the
12 from here at the Arroyo Coliseum in the Philippines. 3 knockdowns so far as Al just met and really put on a show for the local folks.
Martinez absorbing these monsters.
And Donaire, there's a right hand over the top, really throwing caution to the wind, wanting to take punches.
We said he's been down 3 times, but he's hanging in there. This is truly amazing. And the more he hangs in there, the more...
I think Martinez right now, I was just trying to hold his ground and get himself resettled after being knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds.
Donaire kind of takes risks to get him out. I'm not suggesting Martinez he's going to take advantage of that, but he might. Yeah, he is. And
trying to find some kind of a groove to get back into this fight.
Well, he found one weapon, and that's the overhand right. The more he can throw that
combination, there's the boxer you were talking about, Al.
And Nonito Donaire, it's all about keeping his distance, keeping his balance, and landing those big punches. Especially when Donaire is off balance and attacking, the more he might make something happen. But clearly, Donaire is good shots from long range. That's what he does so effectively.
Once again, I'll remind you folks, we're in the Philippines. That's coming to you on a Sunday morning from the Philippines.
It's been great. Brian Valoria with a dramatic win over Ulysses Solis.
I think maybe Martinez is grateful too.
Well, you know, he realized he wasn't getting Martinez out of there, so he was...
Site of the Thriller Manila, or not the Coliseum, back in 1975, and we've certainly had a thrilling fight card this morning.
A lot of fun. And here we've had lots of action early in Nonito Donaire's homecoming.
Nonito Donaire.
Combination punching a little bit more. He worked on his legs, biometrics, running hill, and he said he was having trouble with his legs. He didn't feel like he was strong enough in the fight.
He has 3 knockdowns in the first 2 rounds. More cautious this round now.
Yeah, he's trying to use his technique. And he's worked on that a lot and thinks that will help his stamina in fights as well.
Biometric. I get the running up the hills part. I like the way he's turned into the boxer here, showing his speed and combinations and
Yep. I'm like Red Skelton. I don't explain them, I just tell them. Taking those risks. So now you have to retrench and say, okay, I'm going to have to box this guy a little bit and land big punches.
Gorski comes over and says he's going to have to show some defense and stay on his feet and be all right. You know, he's keeping an eye, obviously, on Martinez after being knocked down 3 times.
He could work the body. In the later rounds, it might slow Donaire down. But we haven't seen one body punch by Martinez yet. He hasn't been close enough. There he landed a good left hook.
It was early in this fight.
You know, Martinez's plan was to get on the inside and work the body of Donaire. He has not even come close to being able to do that. He felt like if...
Last 2 rounds, Donaire's gone back to working the jab. And there's the body punches.
And Pete Podgorski did not... there's that counter left hook. He is so dangerous with that punch.
Chow, we're calling for. And Martinez may be able to find some sort of rhythm here and survive that onslaught he got in the first 2 rounds. It certainly will put you on the defensive before you throw a right out.
Absolutely. You have to be really careful about how you're going to...
Circle to his left against the right hand of Martinez. And I think that's the angle he wants to come in with it.
Attacking.
Left anyway. Just hoping Martinez will take the bait and throw that right, and he can come back with that counter left and goodbye.
And there was a very good one, and he's using it there. That's part of what makes this whole deal work. And there's the left uppercut again. And again, that punch was a right that missed by Martinez, but Donaire was not quite in position to throw the left hand. Donaire's jab, so good for Donaire.
Sort of comes from about 45 degrees, not straight up, but it's Martinez has had no answer.
What Donaire does in this, you know,
it's a twisting thing that when it lands, it's devastating. And he talk about his legs, you know, delivering and sitting down on it.
He's about the same. He's got a couple inches in height, and he fights tall. Donaire fights tall. That's part of the reason what makes him kind of a bad matchup for some of the other people in his division. That and the jab and the counter punch that makes him a tough.
There's the uppercut. There's the uppercut.
Dahil sa lakas ng upper left hook ni Donaire na tumama naman sa panga ni Martinez, bagsak ang Meksikano. Bagamat nakatayo pa at kitang gusto pang lumaban ni Martinez, hindi na ito pinayagan pa. Dahil alam ng referee na wala ng pag-asang manalo ang Meksikano at tiyak na bugbog lang ang aabutin nito. Umpisa pa lang ng round, 2 beses na itong bumagsak at 1 beses sa round 3. Kita sa buong round ng laban na lamang ang ating kababayan at wagi si Donaire via technical knockout sa round 4.
Anybody down with it.